And what's up, gamers? Santos back with another fail gaming. We're going to be playing some Neverwinter Beta. This is the second beta weekend. They have included the Control Wizard, so I'm going to be showing you a little bit of the Control Wizard gameplay. It's one of the first solo dungeons, I would say, for your beginning quests. So let's check it out. Alright, this is my Bright Wizard. I chose Thiefling as my race. There you see some pretty fast action. This is one of the early dungeons. It's not a dungeon, but it is an instance. Basically, the way if you've ever played DDO, the way they do their questing. It's kind of similar, except it's a little bit more expanded, a lot more intricate here. You basically get a quest from a quest giver and you run around, and then they're telling you go in here and do this. Well, you run in here and you can do this as a group with your buddy in a party, or you can do this solo, which I'm currently doing it right now. Control Wizard was not available last beta, but this beta they did make it available, so you're probably going to see a lot of videos of them. Let's talk about the basics. You see there, it's a left click, right click, so it's more of an action MMO. You don't have a big action bar with 12 abilities on it, 24 abilities on it, or whatever. It's pretty simple. You have your primary attack, which I'm doing right there, and then you have a secondary attack on the right click of the mouse. Now you also have other abilities. As you see there, I have an ability set in number 1 and on the Q. The Q ability is just your ability you learn. As you level up, you learn more abilities. Well, the Q, you use it and it's on a cooldown. The 1 is what's called a daily ability. They're supposed to be changing the name of the daily ability to something else because it really doesn't fit. You see there in the middle next to the 1 and the 2, which is currently locked, I have a bar, a big hexagon shape that keeps filling up as I attack. Well, those are my action points. Once my action points reaches 100, I can use one of my daily abilities. So it really isn't a daily ability, since you can use it as soon as you reach 100 again. But those abilities are a little bit more harder hitting, which is why you have to wait for it to fill up before you can use it again. Now your Q abilities, they're on shorter cooldowns. You see there that I also have an E ability that, let's see, I don't remember what it was. But E is currently locked. I will unlock it eventually. I think at level 5 it unlocks. You get another ability, and then eventually R will unlock as well, and you can use that. And you see tab there to the side is something else you can use. You see there I'm using a little teleport ability, and if you look right above my action point bar at the top, there is what's called a stamina gauge, and you can use that dodge ability or the teleport for Bright Wizard's teleport. For the thief and the priest, I believe it's just a dodge, and then the warrior, your tank, does not have a dodge function, but instead it has a shield function, which you will see in one of my later videos, because I am primarily testing that tank in this game. I'm going to be running with a buddy in beta, and we're going to be doing heals, tank, see how many dungeons we can get in. And for the most part, I'll probably be recording all of them and getting them up eventually when I get the time. As you can tell, I am a little bit under the weather. That's good old Colorado for you. One day it'll be 60, the next day it'll be 5, and you're getting a foot of snow dropped on you. But you see the combat is pretty fluid with your range classes. I found it a little clunky with the melee, but it is still an early beta, so that's probably something they're still working on, which is why they haven't released one of the melee classes yet. But as you see me running around and using my teleport function and my abilities, it's actually pretty, it feels pretty fluid. It feels really nice using a keyboard and mouse. This is, again, more of an action-y MMO, so you don't use your, like, normally in a normal MMO you'd use WASD to move, and you would be able to use your mouse as well to move, and then you'd have some strafe buttons. Most people change their A and D from turn left and turn right to strafe left and strafe right, but in this game your look left and look right buttons are your mouse. Your mouse is basically what you use. You see there's a red reticle in the middle of the screen as your target thing. You have to be pointed at something in order to cast some of your abilities. Other abilities you can use, like that one right there, that was my daily. You can use that without having anything targeted, but they have to be in range. Also, as a melee, as the tank, you can also use you have a swipe ability that hits multiple targets in front of you. So you don't really have to have it aimed at certain thing, but you have to be within in front of you within a certain distance for you to hit them all. See there, kept going on the quest. Now this is an MMO, but it is an RPG, and I like to look everywhere for stuff. See there, I found something. This is basically something that, as a control wizard, you can use arcane abilities, or you can buy an arcane kit and unlock that same box. But you won't have, unless you have the kit, you won't be able to unlock it as any other class but the control wizard. I believe on the other side there's something for the priest that I wasn't able to unlock because I did not have a kit. But if I were to get a kit, I think I could unlock it as well. See, yeah, I go over there and check it out. See, there's like a little altar thing there. Yeah, I can't use it because I don't have the kit. But if I was a priest, I'd be able to use that without the kit because that's his special ability. And there's a little campsite there. The only way to regen your health, I guess you gotta get regeneration gear, or you need to have one of these campsites where you can go to, and once you find the campsite further into the instance, if you die, it'll let you respawn at it. That's your weapon. If you notice that little orb following me, that's the weapon you get to use as a control wizard. The little orb thingy. Gotta spot the shinies everywhere. Can't use it anyway. I don't have a thief kit, and I'm not a thief, obviously, so I can't use it. And there you see me just running over the coins. You can run over the coins to pick them up, but as far as items are concerned, you actually have to physically go to the item and hit F, which is your interaction key for opening doors and picking up loot and talking to people. You'll see when I talk to somebody else, you'll notice that they've also put in the number keys 1, 2, and 3, like shortcut keys, so you don't have to click on everything. You can just hit the 1 or the 2 depending on what option you want. There, my little teleport. The way you teleport in this game, with your WASD, you pick the which way you want to go. Like if you like there, I went to the left, so I double clicked on A. There, I went backwards. I double clicked on S. That's how you use your teleport or your dodge. You double click on the direction you want to go in. You see there, I just double click W to go forward. This is the first time I, play a control wizard, so totally new to me. So I was just getting used to the controls. I did play as a control wizard through a user-generated dungeon or user-created dungeon. There's a thing in this game called the foundry, which lets you create your own dungeons. You can be your own dungeon master. It's Dungeons and Dragons. So I mean, there's a lot of dungeon masters out there. If you've played the pen and paper games, that would have loved the system where they can go and create their own dungeons in a virtual world and have people play them. Well, in this game, you can do that. The foundry doesn't become available till I want to say level 15, which that's my goal for this beta weekend, is to hit 15 on a character just so I can test out the foundry and create my own dungeon. And then I'm going to have a friend play through it. I'll probably play through it myself as well and fraps it. But I'm going to have a friend play through it and see what he thought. And he'll give me his comments. We'll put them up in a video. Maybe we'll play through it together. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it really, really hard. The one I played was a 2-star. Well, the community had ranked it 2-star. At the end of the dungeon, you get to rate how the dungeon was. How the questing was in the dungeon and how the dungeon was overall. I gave it a 3. You can rate it 1 to 5 stars. I gave it a 3 because I didn't think it was hard at all. I was able to do it solo really easy. The very last battle in the dungeon was pretty difficult, but it was only because there was 3 of these mammoth beasts that you had to deal with, and as a wizard you're kind of squishy, so I had to use a lot of teleporting. And I think I used like 3 or 4 pots, but it wasn't too difficult. The reason I gave it a 3, and I think a lot of people gave it 2s or 1s, was because you fight a lot of the same things at the beginning, and I don't know if that's a restriction of the foundry, or if that was just the person wasn't creative enough to pick more or different types of things to fight in it. But there was a lot of gargoyles in like the first half of the dungeon, and then there was like just a couple different things that it was pretty hard, the ones that they were picking, the combinations, the warlock with the other combinations. But I love that ability so much. That's such a kick-ass ability. It just knocks everything to back. I think I'm getting close to the end here. I set up fraps to record this first thing, and I guess I turned off to record my mic input in fraps itself, because this whole thing that I was talking through while I was doing it, none of it was recorded, so I had to dub in the audio track into it right now so I can explain what's going on. If you look at the minimap, to the left of the minimap, you'll see some dungeon names or different things, and then it'll have a time by it. And then you'll see, if you look to the far left, one of them has coins in it, something has something else in it. Those things are dungeons you can queue for that'll have special rewards if you do it when it says it's available, and you can click on those and set up reminders for you to do it. There's a lot to this game that I haven't explored yet, but hopefully in these next 3 days I will be getting a lot of content. I definitely want to try out the foundry and make my own dungeon to see how much leeway they give you and how much they let your creativity come out. Most of the quests so far have been voiced over. Some of the voiceover acting has been meh, but some of it's okay. And then you have some of the lip syncing has been terrible, but again, this is a free-to-play game and it's still in early beta, so you can't really expect too much. It's not to the point where it's making the game unenjoyable. So this is one of the bosses here. You see how his health bar is at the top of the screen. There's some elites that are pretty hard, but this guy is an actual boss, so his health is at the top. You see I am a squishy, and there's 4. I started attacking the boss, but then I was like, well, let me get rid of these little guys because I can kill them faster. See, I'm using the dodge to get away from his reticle, his red reticle he's putting on the ground. I think he's resisting it. Stuck in the ground. Get out of it. There you go. See, I like the control wizard. It's pretty fluid the way he moves around and avoids damage. I mean, he is a squishy character. There's some more skeletons to deal with. He is a squishy character, so I like the fact that they give him some movement to be able to avoid some of the damage. I haven't tried any of the player versus player yet, but it looks like this is going to be some additional survivability with the control wizard being able to move around and obviously control targets like that. There's the ending of it. Pretty cool. Get my loots. Get there, get there. This was a pretty quick dungeon, maybe 15 minutes long. Come over here, finish it, and then you see there's a chest there. You're going to be able to grab some loot from this chest to finish it off, and then you can exit the dungeon. And that was me playing Neverwinter's Beta, the Control Wizards gameplay. So what do you gamers think of this instance? Leave me a comment below with your thoughts or questions, and if you have anything in game you want to see, you can also leave me a message in the comment section below. I will try to get to everyone's request in this beta weekend or in one of the next ones. And as always, if you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for future gaming videos. This has been Santos from Fail Gaming. Thanks for watching. See ya.